Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swaminiti Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Umajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmiritamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapadakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha. Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajeevam. Sadvaidam Savadutam Parijana Sakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sakagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dena Bandhu Jagat Pathe Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavani Vrishapanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha kalpatarvyascha kripa sindhubhye vachapatitana pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Isvaraga Paramaha Krishnaga Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhi Govindaga Sarvakarana Karanam. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge by which we can directly perceive our own self. Pratyaksha Vagamam Dharmyam. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 28 slokas in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So Arjuna asked a question in the very first sloka, for which Krishna is answering in the next 71 slokas. All the answers given by Krishna, if we study again and again, we are going to get the complete knowledge what we need. Especially in the 18th chapter towards the end, Krishna is giving us the knowledge very clearly that about we have to just do everything for himself only. So, Tyaga and Sannyasa, their difference we already now understood very well. If anyone asks a question, what's the difference between Sannyasa and Tyaga? Same thing discussed even in the 5th chapter, very beginning, the difference between Sannyasa and Yoga. So, Sannyasa and Yoga, here in the 18th chapter, Sannyasa and Tyaga. So, that means Yoga and Tyaga both are same. So yoga, like sannyasam, karmanam, Krishna, punar yogam cha samsasi. Echreya yetayor ekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. So you have explained to me that sannyasam karmanam, giving up the actions. And again you have explained to me about the yogam. So that means giving up the results of the actions. So now you tell me for certain which is good for me. For that, Krishna said that one should not be even treating that both are different. Ekam sankyam cha yogam cha ya pasyati sa pasyati. Those who see that both sankhya and yoga, sankhya is sannyasa. So that means giving up the actions. So those who see both sankhya and yoga are the same. So they are only really seeing. Ya pasyati. Sapasyati. One who sees like this, he really sees. That's what Krishna says. Sankhya yoga pratak balaga pravadanti na panditagam. Anyone who says that Sankhya and yoga are different. So that's why Sankhya yoga pratak balaga pravadanti na panditaga. He is not a pandita. He is not a learned person. He has no knowledge. Anyone who says that these two are different, he has no knowledge. So like that Krishna said. But in the 18th chapter, when Arjuna asked the question about the difference between sannyasa and tyaga, Krishna said that kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo vidu sarva karma pala tyagam prahuhu tyagam vichakshanah. So all the activities which are meant to enjoy the material sense objects, so kamyanam karmanam krishnam, so kamyanam karmanam nyasam, sannyasam kaviyo. So that is what the learned persons know that as sannyasam. Whereas sarva karma pala tyagam prahuhu tyagam vichakshanam. So other experienced persons, they say that one should give up all the results of activities. So that's what is known as Tyaga. So that way, Tyaga and Yoga are both same. So Yoga means it is performing our actions without any attachment to the results. So that is what is called Yoga. Tyaga means it is the same thing. Tyaga means renouncing the results of the action. Sarva karma pala tyagam. Sarva karma pala tyagam tyagaka. So that's what is known as Tyaga. So that way, by studying this yoga, this Bhagavad Gita itself is yoga. Many times Krishna refers to this Bhagavad Gita as yoga. Imam vivasvade yogam proktavan aham avyayam. So I gave this knowledge. I told this knowledge in the beginning to Sun God Vivasvan. I told this yoga to Sun God Vivasvan. Imam vivasvade yogam proktavan aham avyayam. So that way, this Bhagavad Gita is yoga. This Bhagavad Gita is Tyaga. So when we study this Bhagavad Gita, so when we are acting for Krishna, so when we are doing everything for Krishna, so that means we should give up the attachment to the results. So that means we should use all the results in the service of Krishna. That's what is known as Tyaga. So that way, Yajna Dana Tapak Karma Natyajyam Karyam Evatatu. So one should never renounce the Yajna-dana tapakam, the acts of sacrifice. So yajnam, so that means not getting attached to the results. So offering everything to Krishna. That's what the meaning of sacrifice here. Not like animal sacrifice. It's actually giving everything to Krishna. So that's what yajna, dana, tapa. Dana is charity, tapa is austerity. So these kinds of activities should never be renounced. So that's why yajna, dana, tapa, karma, natyajam karyam evata. Yajno danam tapas chaiva. This yajno, danam, tapas, chaiva. So pavanani manishina. So it is pavanani. It's purified. It purifies even the best persons. The manishina. So pavanani. So that's what Krishna is teaching us. So that way, for us, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we are not going to sit idle. When we become a yogi, so that means it is not that we just sit idle. So yogi means before achieving yoga, so one has to act. So that's why Aruruksher Muner Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyatim. So in the beginning, when we start practicing this yoga, to achieve this yoga, Aruruksher Muner Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyate. So the cause or the reason for performing our acts is actually the reason for performing our actions is to actually become ourselves a yogi, to achieve yoga. So that should be the reason to perform our actions. But Krishna also says that yogarudasya tasyaiva kshamaka karanam uchyate. So kshamaka karanam means by stopping our activities, not doing our actions. So the reason for not doing our actions should be that we have already achieved yoga. Yogarudasya tasyaiva. So yogarudasya. Once we achieve yoga, so that means once we are not disturbed by the results of activities. So that's what is called yogarudasya tasyaiva. So that should be the reason for kshamaka karanam uchyate, for stopping all our activities. So that way, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, when we do everything for Krishna, so when we are able to find satisfaction only within ourselves, not outside, so that way, by Krishna's causeless mercy, so we can actually do everything for Krishna. At that point of time, by Krishna's causeless mercy, we don't have to do anything. We are not forced to do anything. That's the point. There is no force, like Krishna. Like Krishna is not forced. Krishna is not forced to accept birth here. So Krishna is not forced to do any duty. He has no duty. Name pata asti kartavyam Trishu lokeshu kinchana. So in all these three worlds, there is no duty for me to do. The same case, even we can also, the same status, we can also achieve that there won't be any duty for us to do. So there is nothing going to force us to do. The three modes of material nature are not going to act on us. They are not going to force us. So how that is possible? When that is possible? Only when we get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, only when we fully surrender unto Krishna, and only when we are able to find happiness within our own self. Yastvatmaratireva syat atmatruptascha manavaha atmanyeva cha santustaha tasya karyam na vidyate. So for a person who is able to find happiness within himself, satisfaction, happiness, everything, so for such a person, there is no duty to do. Tasya karyam na vidyate. So that means there is no duty to do. It should be the way of our life. We should not have any duty to do. So nothing should be forcing us to do anything. So that is possible only by ourselves completely surrendering unto Krishna, by having this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, by doing everything for Krishna. So then we can achieve that status. So that's why Krishna is teaching us that Tasmat asaktaka satatam karyam karma samacharan asakto hi acharan karma paramapnoti purushaga. Therefore, all the time you perform all your activities without any attachment. Tasmat asaktaka means without any attachment. Asaktaka satatam karyam karma samacharan. So all satatam, always, karyam, karma. So perform your duty. Karyam, karma, samacharan. So all the activities, acharan means perform. So all the duties, karyam, karma. So everything we should do without any attachment. So that way, Krishna is saying that asaktohi, acharan, karma. So without any attachment, if we perform our duty, so that's what asaktohi, acharan, karma, paramapnoti purushaka. So we are going to achieve the Supreme Person, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. We are going to go to Goloka. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 28 slokas in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So with that 28th sloka, we finished that Jnanam, Karma, Karta, everything in the three modes of material nature. So Krishna said Jnanam, Karma cha, Karta cha. Next we are going to study, that is Buddhi, Dhriti, and then Sukham. So there is Buddhi means understanding or intelligence, and determination, so Dhriti, and happiness, the Sukham, in these three modes of material nature we are going to study. So what we studied until now. So in the sloka number 25 in the 18th chapter, Krishna is teaching us what we studied here in the 18th chapter. Anubandam kshayam himsham anapekshya cha paurusham mohadarabyate karma yattattamasam uchyate. Anubandam kshayam himsham. So anubandam means the bondage, bandam, future bondage. And kshayam himsam means, kshayam means destruction. Kshayam himsam means causing distress to others. So that's what, causing distress to others. Anapeksha means not seeing what is going to happen. So without seeing the consequences. So paurusham means self-sanction. So that I can do it. I am deciding. I said so. So that's what, so that kind of attitude. So that's what paurusham. Mohadarabyate karma. So with illusion, so when a person starts his work, so that kind of karma is in the mode of tamoguna, that is ignorance. So that's what we studied. So that action performed in illusion, in disregard of scriptural injunctions, and without concern for future bondage or for violence or distress caused to others, is said to be in the mode of ignorance. So we already studied about the karma, the action in the mode of goodness and passion. We also finished the knowledge in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Next 3 slokas, which we already studied last week, what we are revising today. So there is the karta, the performer, in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. Mukta sango anakam vadi drityutsaga samanvithaka siddhya siddhyo nirvikaraga karta satvikam uchyate. Karta satvika uchyate. Mukta sango means freed from the attachment. Anaham vadi means not thinking that I am the doer. That means freed from the ahankara. Dritti means with determination. Utsaha means with enthusiasm, great enthusiasm. Samanvitaga. So that's what, with great determination and enthusiasm, very qualified. Siddhya siddhyo nirvikaraga. In both success and failure, one should not be changing. He is without any change. He is always same. So same in both success and failure. So that kind of karta, that kind of performer is in the mode of goodness. That's what Krishna is teaching. So that is one who performs his duty without association with the modes of material nature, without false ego, with great determination and enthusiasm, and without wavering in success or failure, is said to be a worker in the mode of goodness. So then we studied also about the worker, the karta, in the mode of passion, rajoguna. Ragi karma pala prepsu lubdo himsatmako suchihi harsha shokhan vitaka karta rajasaha parikirtitaga. So ragi, attached, a person who is very much attached, ragi. Karma pala prepsu means who is attached to the results of the actions. So that's what karma pala prepsu means, who desires the results of the actions. Lubdo himsatmako asuchihim. So lubdo, very greedy and always himsatma. So always envious and unclean, asuchi, unclean. And harsha shokan vitaga, moved by joy and sorrow. So that's what harsha shokan vitaga karta. And that kind of karta, that kind of performer is actually declared that is in the mode of passion, rajoguna. So that's what we studied. So the worker who is attached to work and the fruits of work, desiring to enjoy those fruits, and who is greedy, always envious, impure, and moved by joy and sorrow, is said to be in the mode of passion. So what about the worker in the mode of ignorance? That's what we finished in the last week, in the 28th sloka. Ayuktaha prakritaha sabdaga satho naiskritiko alasaga visadi dirga sudricha karta tamasa uchyate. So ayuktaga means one who is not engaged in Krishna's devotional service. So that means one who is not following the scriptural injunctions. And prakritaka means a materialistic person. Prakrita, prakriti means its nature, material nature. So that's why prakritaka, materialistic person, and a stubborn, obstinate person. So stabdaga, who is not listening to anyone. And shato, and is deceitful. And naiskritiko, that means he is expert in insulting others and he is very lazy, alasaga. Visadi, dirga sutricha, is morose and procrastinating. That's what visadi, dirga sutricha. That kind of karta, that kind of performer is in the mode of ignorance. So the worker who is always engaged in work against the injunctions of the scripture, who is materialistic, obstinate, cheating and expert in insulting others, and who is lazy, always morose and procrastinating, is said to be a worker in the mode of ignorance. So now we are going to start studying about the intelligence or understanding, the buddhi, in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and then determination. Next week we will study, and then following week we will study the sukha, happiness. So what Krishna is teaching in the next sloka, sloka number 29. Buddhe Driteshchaiva gunathas trividam shunu prochamanam aseshena pratatvena dhananjaya buddhe bedam driteshchaiva. So now the difference, bedam, like buddhe, there is the intelligence, buddhi, and the driti, there is the determination. Buddhya, driti, grihitaya. That's what we studied in the 6th chapter. Krishna said that buddhya, driti, grihitaya means with intelligence we should gain the determination. So that's why buddhya, driti, grihitaya, atma samstam manakritva. So keep the mind under the control of the self. So we need to have intelligence. If we have intelligence, we can get determination. If we get determination, we can keep the mind under the control of ourself. Nakinchintapi chintaye, not thinking about anything else. So that's what sanair uparame buddhya driti grihitaya atma samstam manakritva nakinchitapi chinte. So that's what here Krishna says that buddhir vedam driteshchaiva gunatas trividam. So based on the gunas, the 3 modes of material nature, so there are 3 types. 3 types of buddhi, intelligence, and 3 types of driti, determination. Prochamanam aseshenam. So now you sunu means you hear from me, described by me, explained by me. Prochamanam completely, aseshena, in detail, total. Prataktvena dhananjayam. So differently, and the difference between all such things. So, O conqueror of wealth, that's what Krishna is saying. O winner of wealth. Now please listen as I tell you in detail of the different kinds of understanding and determination according to the 3 modes of material nature. So buddhi means understanding or intelligence. So here understanding, that's what we are saying. So what Krishna is teaching in the 30th slokam, pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye baya baye bandham moksham chaya veti buddhi sa partha satviki. Pravrittim cha means what to do. Nivrittim cha, what not to do. Karya, what ought to be done. Akarya, what not ought to be done. What ought not to be done. Bandham, baya, abaya. So what is to be feared and what is not to be feared. That's what baya, abaya. Bandham, moksham. So what is binding and what is liberating. Bandham, moksham cha yaveti. One who understands all these things. So his understanding, his intelligence is in the mode of goodness. That is buddhi sa partha satviki. That's what Krishna is saying. O son of Pritha, that understanding by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating, is in the mode of goodness. How are you going to know all these things? We know all these things by studying and understanding this Bhagavad Gita, by receiving Krishna's causeless mercy. We know Krishna is there in our heart as a super soul. He teaches us everything. And he gives us the knowledge, strength, remembrance, everything Krishna gives. So then only we know all those things, because Krishna says that, Dadami buddhi yogam, I give the intelligence by which they will come to me. Dadami buddhi yogam yena mam upayanti. So now in the next slokam, what we are studying about the understanding buddhi in the mode of Rajoguna. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha karyam cha karyameva cha ayathavat prajanati buddhi sa partha rajasi. That is, what is dharma and what is adharma? One who is not able to understand. So that is, what is dharma and adharma, and what is to be done and what is not to be done. So everything one who understands very, very imperfectly. Ayathavat prajanati. So one who understands not correctly, very imperfectly. So that kind of person's buddhi is in the mode of Rajoguna. That's what Buddhi is a part of Rajasi. O son of Pritha, that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, that is dharma and adharma. So what is righteousness and not righteousness? So between action that should be done and action that should not be done is in the mode of patience. Then in the next sloka, sloka number 32, what Krishna is teaching us, the understanding in the mode of ignorance. Adharmam dharmamithya manyate tamasa vritha sarvartha viparitamscha buddhige sapartha tamasi. So one good thinks what is righteousness as not righteousness, what is religion as irreligion. So that's what adharmam dharma mithya. So one who thinks what is not righteousness as righteousness. That's what adharmam dharma mithya. Manyate tamasabhata. Because of ignorance, one who thinks like that. Sarvartha and viparidamsa. He understands everything in a negative way only, in the wrong way only. Sarvartha and viparidamsa. You won't get any right understanding. Anything you take, everything understanding it in the wrong way. So that kind of understanding, that kind of intelligence is in the mode of tamoguna. So that's what Krishna is teaching. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness and strives always in the wrong direction. O Partha is in the mode of ignorance. That's what Krishna says. By Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 4 more slokas today in the 18th chapter. So we finished up to 32 slokas out of 78 slokas in the 18th chapter. Now let us chant Hare Krishna Mahamantram and focus our mind on the transcendental sound vibration. We'll chant 2 rounds of mantra, which will roughly take about 15 minutes. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Om Jnanatimradasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaurabhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama 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 Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Ani Pepper Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. Happy
Hare
to be here again tonight.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
for another wonderful class. No questions tonight. Hare Krishna.
Hare Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. SK Garg Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Guruji.
Thank you,
Very
Prabhu.
nice lecture, making us understand the Buddhi, the three gunas of Buddhi and the
Yes.
Dhriti.
Mhm.
Guruji, there is a question, many times when there are in our day-to-day life, we are expecting something, and we keep on overthinking about the same, and keep on planning this thing, that thing. And when that happens, it is sometimes totally in a different way. So my question is regarding Buddhi, when it says that understanding what should be done or not to be done, should we resort to overthinking about the something, unknown factor, right from the, when even the event is not there? Overthinking is good or bad? Rather, this is my doubt.
We should be planning to do everything only for Krishna. That is the main thing. So when we are doing it for Krishna, we will be only thinking about Krishna only. Which is overthinking Krishna is very good. Overthinking about Krishna. So that's what is very important. Our mind should be completely connected with only Krishna only. Not the end result, whatever we are going to do, whatever is going to come, because all the results are for Krishna. When that is the case, we should not be attached to whatever we do. And that's why I always say that leave everything to Krishna and do everything for Krishna. So if you do everything for Krishna without any attachment to the results, so that means you are leaving everything to Krishna. So that's what, leaving the results to Krishna. Because Krishna is the Yajna Purusha, he is the Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam. So Ahamgi Sarva Yajnana Bhoktacha Prabhurevacha. So that way, we should not be thinking about the results at all, but whatever we do, when all the time in our mind, only we should be thinking and remembering that we are doing it for Krishna. That's it. So let us not, then in that case, worry about how that's going to happen. Because we just, I mentioned many times in the past, that we just have to think that we are doing it for Krishna. That's the only thing we need to do. That thinking that we are doing it for Krishna. Then everything else is actually done by Krishna. That's what is very important. All the actions, Krishna's mercy, it will happen. Anything, if we really, very sincerely, we think that we are doing it for Krishna, we are planning it for Krishna, then definitely that's going to happen. No doubt about it. So, you understand that, Prabhu, to a certain extent?
Yes, Guruji, I do understand. My doubt is clear that there is no point of overthinking about something, and in fact, I agree. When we overthink about something, we are really connecting ourselves to the result. We want
Exactly. That
some
means we are
particular.
attached to the
I
result.
agree. I agree, Guruji. So we should not think about the result. We should not do the overthinking. Rather, we should spend our time in thinking about the Krishna.
Krishna. That's it.
Yes,
That is correct.
yes. And perhaps, as you said earlier also, that at the right moment, the Krishna gives us the buddhi.
Yes.
That is true. Many a times it happens that at the right moment we get the proper direction.
Yes.
May not be according to our thinking or plan, but really, when I look back, I find that was the best way for me.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what we are supposed to do. So it will, for a period of time, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, our mind will be trained to do like that only. That's what we are doing it right now.
Yes, Guruji. In fact, I'm finding that difference. It's a continuous process.
Exactly.
It's a continuous process. This learning can never be completed. It's a
Arjuna was thinking about too many things, but after understanding the entire Bhagavad Gita, he was thinking only about Krishna and fighting. That's it.
yes, yes.
Yes, Prabhu. That's it.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you very
Krishna,
much.
Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Guruji.
Very nice question, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Viji. Mataji, Hare Krishna, Viji.
Hare Krishna Guruji, this is Kriba Lakshmi Guruji.
Okay, Mataji, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Guruji. Hare Krishna Guruji, wonderful class Guruji, learnt a lot today Guruji.
Yes,
I'm
Mataji.
feeling very happy attending all your classes Guruji. Feel really fortunate Guruji. Thank you Guruji.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Lisa Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the class, Guruji.
Yes,
Thank you for keeping us in Krishna consciousness, Guruji.
yes,
And Guruji, Urmila Mataji wanted you to know that she's traveling, so she's not able to attend the live classes, but she is watching the YouTubes.
YouTube, that's fine. Yes, that's good. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Guruji. And also Sheila Mataji's son, who's 46-year-old, had a heart attack. So, yes, Guruji. And but the good thing about it was, by Krishna's mercy, morning when he was feeling uneasy, they took him to the hospital where they found out that he was having 99% blockage. So immediately he got medical care, and the operation was also successful, and he has got one stent. So she wanted you to know, and she wanted all of us to pray. And till now, everything has been fine, and everything is under control. So that's why she also has not.
All right. We'll all pray for him indefinitely.
Yes, Guruji, there was no wasting of time at all. He was already there, and immediately they admitted him in emergency, and the operation was also successful.
Yes.
So everything is under control now. She's not been attending the classes, but she wanted you to
Krishna
know.
will take care, Mataji, for the devotees.
Yes, Guruji.
They are
Yes,
serving
yes.
Krishna, he will do all the wonders. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you so much for your efforts, Guruji. Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Guruji.
Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare Krishna. Satyendra Singh Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Please.
Hare Krishna Guruji, Pranam.
Pranam Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Really, in Sunday's lecture, it was really wonderful. Thank you, Guruji. In the beginning, you have beautifully explained the Sankhya, Yoga, and Tyaga.
Yes, Prabhu.
And the subsequent sloka also, really, these are very wonderful. understanding of the sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. And really, we are progressing little bit in understanding Gita from you. Thank
Yes.
you, Guruji, for all this.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hariappan Prabhu, Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Rama,
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 Hare
Hare
Hare. Hare. So today's class also was really very interesting because every Sunday we are trying to learn different thing. So that is different chapter. So that way it is really very good because again 4 slokas we are instead of 1 sloka on Sundays we make 4 and we understand many things in that respect. So it's all 4 are very interesting actually. All 4 slokas regarding the gunas, different gunas, how the behavior is really very interesting to hear and learn. Thank you. And slowly we have to, anyway, we are all many times, sometimes we go to Rajoguna automatically because of problems. So material problems. So we have to change ourselves to goodness. That is the thing which we have to follow. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Sumati Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Hare.
Thank you for another very interesting class, Guruji. So much of good knowledge you have imparted to us on the different types of yoga and difference between yoga and sannyasa, tyaga and sannyasa, as well as the the modes of nature, how we are influenced in every thought, action, and deed by the modes of nature. Very interesting class, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. I think if we are always watchful about what we, think, say, or do, and to decide, okay, this I'm going in this mode or that mode, we'll be doing, we can do some self-correction,
That is
right?
correct.
Yes.
Yes. Krishna,
And
Krishna
interesting.
gives us that knowledge. With
Yeah,
Bhagavad
yeah,
Gita knowledge, it's very much possible. Yes, ma'am.
exactly. So it was very interesting.
So we
Guruji.
have to train ourselves like that. So automatically, so then that's going to be with us forever. That kind of
Yes, yes.
training.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you very much for the class, Guruji.
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Rama. Shabani Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, thank you for today's class. I mean, I have learned mode of passion, that terminologies, that mode of ignorance, then intelligence, object of knowledge, what to done, what has to be, what has not to be done, what is fear, and what should not be fair, and what are the foundations, and what is freedom actually. So it is the knowledge of goodness. And I think we are getting the wisdom from this Bhagavad Gita, from this learning. So I think we are understanding gradually, so understanding in the wrong direction also. So here, they are differentiating also. So I mean, continuously the guidance is there for us, and the terminologies were quite helpful. And we should channelize, means it is that we have to channelize our energy, our mind, and our actions towards Krishna only, without any expectations. And we should think only and only about Krishna, so we can get protection from, and to getting the towards, I mean, we can move towards the correct path. And we should not understand in the wrong direction, that is called mode of ignorance, right?
Yes,
So we will not be misunderstanding that. Thank you, Guruji, for today's class. Thank you so much.
thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna. Sunil Shivas Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam Guruji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jyoti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guruji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you Guruji. Thank you for the class. And most of the time, many people waste the time in unwanted discussion, unwanted things, remembering unwanted things only, I think.
Just wasting the precious human life.
Yes, when I see the news, so there will be a long discussion in this during election time and about thinking politicians, their discussion, what they will do. Actually, those all are.
That's
I
why only
feel
one
nowadays.
in 1,000 is serious in Krishna consciousness.
True,
999 will not be.
At least the difference I'm finding out nowadays means simply why to waste the time in unwanted discussion and the gossip and all. Actually, I'm totally avoiding that nowadays.
Because they are able to see with the eyes of knowledge, through the eyes of knowledge, correct? That's right.
True. Sometimes I tell actually, if they tell at least about Krishna or God, about anything that feels me happy. Otherwise, I avoid the things which I don't like.
Yes.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you for the class.
Thank
Guruji.
you,
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Ram. Hare Krishna. Mahendra Shukla Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Mahendra Shukla Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Nandi sir.
Thank
you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Mohanan Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you so much for the another excellent class, Guruji. Very excellent.
Yes,
and really enjoyed the class. Lot of learnings and really motivating also. Thank you, Guruji. Really, because of this class, we are progressing slowly and steadily. And in fact, I'm also, my chanting is really in a good progress, Guruji. I almost completed now. In fact, first chapter 1, 2, 3, and 3 chapters I completed, Guruji. I could now memorize the complete slogas. All because of your, all because of your grace and Krishna's grace, Guruji. Really, I am enjoying. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you so much, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Anita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Pranam Guruji.
Pranam Mataji, Pranam, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Thank you so much for the class.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Ram Ram, Hare. Mani Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Happy Sunday morning.
Yes, Prabhu.
Today's slogan, very powerful in all dimensions. It covers many of the things, lifestyles of a person, how to, the code of conduct, all these things are explained in this slogan, this 18th chapter. So again and again, we have to introspect and we have to go into that path what Krishna is saying.
Yes.
See, the one problem is we are just, follow suit in the sense, what is going on, we just follow in that same, pattern. But through Bhagavad Gita, how that differentiation should happen, I want to know. Guruji, my meaning is, we follow suit. Either we follow our parents, we follow certain friends, we follow certain teacher, we follow certain. So it is a very natural. We go in one pattern. So Bhagavad Gita says, don't go into the pattern. You realize and through Rajaguna, you get that intelligence. So I want a deep meaning of this.
Everyone has got their Swabhava, Prabhu. That is the main thing. So, Swabhava is basically based upon our circumstances also. Sattvanurupa sarvasya saddha bhavati bharata. So, depending upon our circumstances, we develop particular kind of faith. So, that's what is going to happen. So, that way, if you have to have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, that means everything we understand that we have this Swabhava, we are controlled by the modes of nature. For example, without the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we will not know anything about the three modes of material nature. Right? We won't even know the soul. We will be ignorant. We can't distinguish. We won't be a Pandita. That's it. Na Pandita. That's it. We will not be a Pandita. So that way, so
once in a million people, it will happen. Correct? They are unique nature.
Yes, bro. That's correct.
Why? Because all gunas this are, if you are having some strength, some weakness is there. So how to get that entire characteristics is the challenge for the human being.
Yes, bro.
Today, very, very nice. Actually, it penetrated our mind, our heart, and going towards Krishna, it really impacted. I do not know. It is my personal feeling. It impacted very much.
Yes. Yes, bro.
Yeah. So we lived a life before understanding the Bhagavad Gita. I am almost 60 and above. Now I understand how much I lost it by not understanding Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, bro. Yes, bro. But
very nice explanation, and at least, going towards our certain death, at least we should realize that why we live, what need to follow, and how to conduct ourselves. Thank you very much, Guruji. Thank you very much. So today's class is excellent as usual. All Sundays are special. Normally, by God's grace, Krishna's mercy, so the all best of yoga comes in Sunday.
Sunday, yes, bro.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram.
Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, bro. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Let us listen to Srila Prabhupada's Kirtan now. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna.